In February, the committee made multiple requests for documents to the Securities Exchange Commission. This is normal congressional oversight. Yet 7 months later, the committee has not received a single non-public document that was not part of a FOIA production. As I said, our patience is wearing thin. The SEC is not above the law, nor is it unique. Other financial regulators have routinely complied with congressional oversight. So let me be clear. I do not want to be the first chairman of this committee to issue a subpoena to the Securities Exchange Commission. And you should not want to be the first SEC chair to receive a congressional subpoena. Either we find a path forward where the SEC recognizes Congress as a co-equal branch of government and is responsive to our oversight duties, or my option is to issue a subpoena. It's time for you to consider the lasting consequences of your action and what that means to the Securities Exchange Commission's reputation long term. While your time in this role may be temporary, the repercussions for your actions may be permanent for the agency.
Well. You're pushing a woke political and social agenda, and I think abusing your role and the authority of the SEC as cover. So, I think fundamentally, the SEC Stabilization Act would remove the role of chairman. It would preserve the current commissioners, but it would add a sixth commissioner. So there would be no more than 3 from any one political party. And so that would provide a path that would make the SEC do what you're avoiding. Frankly, you're front-running Congress, you're front-running the courts, you're front-running even the own administration, and no one has held you to account for that. I mean, I wish the Biden administration would say you're fired, but the list of folks they need to do that for is long. Congress hopefully will with the SEC Stabilization Act. I yield.
My. What a day. What a day for Mr. Gary Gensler. Welcome back to Quality Cryptos Are Us. I am quality. We're all quality. I just thought I'd do that randomly. What a day. This is big. Gary Gensler got absolutely slaughtered. I'm going to show you a few clips and we're going to go through a couple of things. This is from Watch a Guru. I watched most of it. I missed the key points, which was really frustrating, but we're going to go through them right now.
I'll take it as a yes. Contracts. And to be clear, do you believe the vast majority of digital assets meet the investment contract test and are therefore securities operating illegally outside of the U.S. regulatory umbrella?
As I've said, many of these assets are basically the public is anticipating
Sir,
profits
is that a yes?
based on the efforts of others.
Is the answer then yes?
Again, without prejudging anyone.
Is it a yes, Gary?
I do think that the significant
Reclaiming my
majority
time.
are
I'll take it as a yes.
contracts.
And to be clear, sir, this perspective has nothing to do with a concern you noted in a speech last year where you said, quote, "Over the past year, several bank executives have shared their concerns with me about the sheer number of depositors who have moved money from their bank accounts into crypto-related exchanges and wallets," end quote. Right?
The concern that those bank executives raised was that there's
again, I'm reclaiming my time,
customers were
sir.
getting hurt.
Do you remember last time? He did the exact same last time, refusing.
I've asked you to answer the questions as short as I can so I can use the time I have, and it's clear that you would like to avoid answering the questions, in my opinion. And Obama...
Because these guys, they have a limited, I think it's 5 minutes each. And he just wastes his time waffling because it's a yes or no answer, then he can go to the next question, but he just continues to just avoid answering yes or no.
I'm an appointed judge in the Southern District of New York, a bank-friendly jurisdiction where you bring most of your cases, recently found that decentralized financial technology, quote, not only removes the so-called middlemen from these transactions, but it also allows users to interact through a variety of methods in an easy and efficient manner, end quote. The court also said underwriters, like the ones at banks where you work, sir, are, quote, precisely the types of individual roles that decentralized exchanges were designed to eliminate, end quote. Mr. Gensler, can you assure this committee that your style of regulation by harassment towards digital asset innovation is to the benefit of every American and not driven by your desires to protect industry incumbents?
This is a field that's rife with fraud and manipulation, and I'm looking out for the American investors who've been hurt by the crypto.
Yeah. I'll reclaim my time. Mr. Gensler, despite your years of rhetoric
oh my God,
today,
I didn't see this bit.
I'm convinced you are not an impartial regulator. Instead, it's clear that you are working to consolidate your own power, even though it means crushing opportunities for everyday Americans and, frankly, the financial future of this country. Even the federal courts are highlighting the damage you, sir, are doing to our constituents, and they're telling you that you don't have the legal authority to accomplish your goal of squashing competition in the financial markets.
Get in, Mr. Emma. Get in.
Congress has been telling you that too. Now, Mr. Gensler, I believe our great financial system is the definition of freedom in this country. And congressional policies must provide room for the traditional financial system to evolve alongside the disruptive digital asset ecosystem. That said, it cannot be understated that a common theme throughout your career, sir, is your relentless loyalty to the largest financial institutions at the clear expense of innovation, competition, and everyday Americans.
Yes, in.
I suspect some large financial institutions
Let
would
me
not
yield
agree
back.
with that.
There's no question now, sir. I've yielded.
Oh, rip. He got effed there. Absolutely effed. He needs to get out of that. They need to fire him. They need to absolutely just get rid of Gary. I don't know how he still has a job there. What is going on over there? Just fucking escort him out the back door. I mean, his sole purpose is to not allow crypto to advance because of how fast crypto's gone the last few years and how everyone's become, adopting to it as well. Different countries, different companies. It's just he's doing his absolute best in the worst way possible to eliminate crypto, but it's not working for him. Especially today, he got absolutely slaughtered in there. I think it's fantastic that we have someone like this Mr. Emma, I don't know, representing like the masses, the people who want to get into certain things like crypto, decentralized finance, things like that, and to slam Gary Gensler each and every time. I remember this guy from last time. I do remember him. Get Gary out.
But your view on Bitcoin, you've made comments on this. You believe Bitcoin is not a security. Is that true?
Well, I think the staff of the SEC have also, and the prior
Well, I'm
chair.
just asking you this question, and this is not a gotcha. I thought this was going to be an easy softball into harder questions.
Oh no, not Gary.
You think Bitcoin is a security?
No, I think I've said this in the past that I think that it doesn't
I'm asking you
meet the
to
Howey
answer
test.
my question
Why is it-
now. This is not supposed to be hard.
I know. I said it
Just
does
answer-
not meet the Howey test, which is the
Okay.
law of the land about being an
So
investment
it doesn't meet the
contract or
Howey test.
security.
So therefore, it's a commodity. Is that fair?
I would say it's not a security, and then the test is otherwise for other
Okay.
laws.
I mean, at least he gave something away, but he does not say. He just doesn't give anything out because he's trying to wind down the clock just so he can get out of it, even though he was in there for hours. So I found that guy, Tom Emma, and I should have known who he was already, but look at this tweet. Fact: Gary Gensler is not an impartial regulator, and his answers to my questions today prove that. Despite what Gary Gensler thinks, he is not a government of one. This is fantastic to say, and it's exactly what we all feel, and the sentiment of what we all feel is just perfect. I don't know how much longer this man can be in power. I know it takes a lot to remove someone, but the financial implications that he can cause and is causing is a serious problem for not only industries and companies, but for the entire financial situation. It's not just, it affects everywhere. For them to grill him like this for hours, I mean, it just shows what needs to be done. Hopefully, it will happen sooner rather than later. Give this guy a cheeky follow. And yeah, that was today. Congress absolutely destroying Gary Gensler, which was remarkable because we've had just some bad news in the UK, which Chase have banned crypto, but this is a step in the right direction, and it's people like this that really should be the future, and not people like Gary Gensler, who is so hooked on traditional finances and traditional methods. Traditional for the sake of being traditional, to protect banks and, financial firms that don't want to progress with crypto. It's such a living in a Stone Age mentality. And people like this, we need more people like him.